Many videos online concerning marine spirits often abode with mermaids, much less often with beings like sirens, that despite being bird-like, and not fish-like, still live near and in the waters. Very few of the sources online speak about marine dragons and sea dragons, and if they do, they often lump them together with leviathans and sea serpents, while all three are completely separate, distinct beings, not even closely related. Asian dragons are mostly associated with water element, and indeed, many water dragons and marine dragons are Asian dragons, but not all Asian dragons are water dragons, and likewise, not all water dragons are Asian dragons. Water dragons are associated with water element as their primary element, but they can control other elements if they wish or if they learn to. Many water dragons, though I'm not sure if all, can breathe fire, no matter if they are Western dragons or Eastern dragons. As for my specific kind, the sea-high dragons, or the four seas dragons, we are like all other dragons, angelic beings that guard nature, elements and everything that lives in them. But they spend most of their time underwater in a coral reef-looking world or kingdom. Sea-high dragons are generally seen as rulers of the four seas, but not all dragons of four seas are of the royalty. Though there's a lot of princes and princesses, much like my spiritual father and his daughter, my spiritual self. There's hierarchy of course, but the treatment is very royal. Yes, feuds, wars etc. do exist, but the dragons have a sense of honor. When they fight for greater cause. And as every living being, we do possess free will, and some opinions and ideas may differ. If the opinion difference will turn into a threat to one's family, title or territory, of course a war is gonna happen, just like in human society. Things aren't all that different in the universe. Obviously, we are not dumb and we know wars are evil, they bring more harm and destruction than good and progress, so many individuals will try to avoid it. But then again, not every dragon and being possess this moral code. And that can lead to conflicts. The four seas do not work or fight against humanity. To be honest, they don't care about humanity all that much. They have their own cares, worries, struggles and life events to care what's going on in another universe that badmouths them, unless they happen to have an incarnation in our realm, which is, obviously, my case. LOL. Marine dragons are just as much marine spirits as sirens, mermaids, nymphs, leviathans, and sea gods, but it is important to differentiate that they are their own species and do not belong to nymph, leviathan, mermaid, serpent or siren family. Dragons are a family on their own. Chinese people worship dragons as gods, but to be honest, we are not gods. Unless of course an individual dragon has divine DNA in them, like their mother was a goddess, or their father was a god. This happens too, but these are cases of their own and do not translate to all dragon lineages. To humans, we do have a divine-like power, but we are not divine, we're only angelic. Dragons can mate and have children with all kinds and species, to my knowledge. They can mate and marry a human, an elf, a deity, a shapeshifter, whoever they will feel that special bond with. It's definitely a myth that dragons can mate and procreate only with their own kind. My friend is a siren and her mate is a dragon. My true self, she is a sea dragon and her husband and father of her children is a volcano dragon. Spirits that seem like opposing forces to humans very often aren't opposing in nature to each other. Fire entity and water entity or earth entity and air entity very much can and do intermingle, marry and have children with each other. And they are not restricted to their own kind. What do dragons eat? Just like in humans, it depends on the environment they live in. From my experience, most dragons are omnivorous. My true self shown me that in her native four seas realm she often hunts marine mollusks and crustaceans, and indeed, as her incarnation I started craving these foods more as my connection progressed. But this does not apply to all sea-high long, or sea-high dragons. Each being is an individual and individual people have different, individual tastes. So I can only speak of myself here. Likewise, different dragons have different powers. Us, sea dragons, our powers mostly reflect the environment we live in. Sea dragons are often able to connect to the element of water, but also wind, rain, weather patterns, as well as the inner flowing magma lines under the crust of the earth. This actually made Chinese people classify dragons as auspicious animals, cause ley lines are tied to feng shui. My true self taught me how I could train and become a shapeshifter, using the energy of water and the spirits of beings in the water, like fish, amphibians, crocodiles, seals etc. But she seems to prefer a fish form, so this is what I will be focusing on. Many dragons are shapeshifters, and in Chinese mythology it's as obvious they can shapeshift, as the fact that they are tied to water and rain. It's just known fact. That alone says a lot. Dragons, aside elementals themselves, are the beings that mastered the art of elemental magic to perfection, and their knowledge about elements and their deeper spiritual meaning is unparalleled. I hope to dive into this knowledge too. If I am to work with the elements of my true self, I have to obviously understand them first. One cannot master something they don't understand. Both this and the shape-shifting in physical would be incredibly hard, I believe, but what I also firmly believe in, is that nothing is impossible to the one who believes and tries hard and long enough and refuses to give up. Of course not all sea dragons will have shape-shifting or weather-changing abilities. These depend a bit on their personal genetics and a bit on their training and what kind of ability or magic they want to practice. And obviously, as an incarnation, I do not have full insight and knowledge into what's going on at the other side. Just giving my 2 cents on marine dragons and marine spirits in general. What I want to think is that marine spirits are neither Nephilim, nor demons, and we have nothing to do with the evil or malevolent forces of hell, fallen angels, or their supposed offsprings. And I'm getting tired of people repeating it on broken record how corrupted, evil and anti-Christian we are. We are not. We are no better or worse, we are just different. Think a newt and a lizard. They are totally different. They do not even belong to the same clade, no matter how similar they look like. But not one or the other is worse, or better. They just have different evolutionary adaptations that make them more suitable for terrestrial life, or water-dwelling life. Newt swims better, but lizard runs better. An axolotl is named for water life. If removed from water for too long, its skills would fail it and it would suffocate and die. Salamanders are poor swimmers. If thrown on too deep of a water, they would sink and, also, die. Neither axolotl, or salamander is superior over another. Their bodies are just adapted to give the best from what their surrounding gives them, at the expense of other abilities. You get my point? In my opinion, water spirits and humans are not superior or inferior to one another, they are simply different, because they live in different surroundings and evolution shaped them in different way. Dragons of water can shapeshift, control weather and wind, control marine animals and communicate with them, as well as, according to Chinese mythology, freely cross between heaven and earth and back again. And yet, I do not think we are superior to humans. We are simply different. We live longer, gain more experience and powers, but it doesn't make us omnipotent, or superior. There are beings in universe much stronger than dragons. Many Goda and half-gods are. Dragons share DNA with elves, so both elves and dragons likewise, do not age after certain point of maturity and can live for hundreds, thousands or millions of years. But both dragons and elves can be killed. No being is truly immortal, but then again, death is not the end, it's merely a passage on to another plane. So, even if life ends, consciousness remains. It's the same for marine spirits, for angels, for gods, for humans and for everyone else. At the end of the day, whoever we are, wherever we come from, we all are ruled by the rules of the reality we live in. As an incarnation, I cannot be ever certain that I will be biologically immortal like my true self, whether I will be able to shapeshift or not, and if so, will I be able to unlock my real dragon form here on Earth? I don't know. And to be honest, as much as I would want to be exactly like my true self here, I will do my best with what is given to me, and whatever happens next, will happen if it's meant to. I will just connect to my true self. Connect to the 4 main water bodies of Chinese mythology that are said to mirror the Sea High Kingdom, and we will see how it will go. What for the people and evangelicals that call us demons? Please, get a life. And I mean it with respect. If you were content with your life, you wouldn't look up for ways to destroy the lives and legacies of others, be it human or non-human, physical or spiritual. It's just low. Focus on yourself. We are living, breathing, thinking and feeling beings just like you. Just like you, we fall in love, we marry, we have families, we laugh, we cry, we feel hurt, betrayed or disappointed, we show compassion, understanding and forgiveness if the other party deserves it. We are not that different from you as you'd like to believe. Many of you take Bible verses out of context to justify war on us. But now where in the Bible are all marine spirits depicted as evil and demonic? The devil is never cited as the ruler of the underwater world. There are no verses that claim marine kingdom is evil. The Bible claims every knee, on earth, in the air, in the water and underground and all, will bend to Jesus, but bending the knee is an octo of respect, not defilement. I just don't get it. Jesus said his Father is love. How and why do you hate on everything that is not like you, all in the name of the supreme love? How can you justify destroying and rebuking innocent beings in the name of the same great man and great God who said whoever of you is without a sin, shall cast the first stone? And yet, these stones you keep throwing. I don't want to condemn you, I just want you to pause and reflect. What testimony are you giving with your actions? The one of a merciful Father God, or the one of a devil who keeps searching for reasons left and right to condemn and blackmail whatever he hates? Think about what you are doing. Just because you have been taught it to be right, it doesn't mean it is. Jesus walked on water, calmed down spirits of the storm, turned water into wine and was baptized in a river, and here you are, over 2,000 years later, making people hate and fear the spirits of the same water. Where is the logic? The man and God you worshipped showed nothing but respect to the water. Please, be more like him and less like the people he deemed hypocrites and threw off of the temple. Anyways, wrapping it all up, I hope you all learned something new today. Have a great day, evening, night or wherever and whenever you're watching this right now, and I hope you all will stay safe out there. Remember, love gives and heals. Hatred can only destroy, and often, it destroys the one who hates the most. Have a good one and be safe.